See who all comes in. Welcome. Whew. I know. Better late than never, right? Yeah, I know. I'm usually on in the morning. And it's Thursday evening, so I decided to pop in here. Got really red lips too. Put this lipstick on. Looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. Looks good. My face is a little bit red because I was out in the sun today. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was nice being out in the sun. It was really nice. So, drinking some iced tea, raspberry iced tea, iced tea. Got some raspberry iced tea. That's what I'm drinking. Kind of, oh man, a little bit flabbergasted here. So, welcome everybody. As I go through my little craziness for the intro here, my name is Mary Jane Tracy, and I am coming to you with the 411 of the shenanigans of As Above, So Below, and the craziness of the world around us. And it's just, I think it's just getting a little bit more bonkers out there. The more each and every day as it passes, things get a little bit crazier and crazier and crazier. And I'm gonna see who's gonna come on in right now. I'm not judging myself, but I sure am judging. It's okay. Just reading some posts and stuff. So I just want to see how everybody's doing and who's going to come in. And I've already been on for a couple minutes. So the moon is still in Cancer. And let me check what degrees it's at right now. Let me check the degrees. No, I don't want that. That's a wrong one. Let me check. Checking on the degrees. Check. 21 degrees. So it'll be moving through here and then going in to Leo. So the moon's going to be in Leo by about midday tomorrow. So it's going to be, I would say tomorrow's Friday. And then snuggling up with Leo for a little bit, Mercury for a little bit before it heads into Virgo. And then when it's going into Virgo, hello, that's when we're going to be having our new moon. So this weekend we're going to be going into the dark phases of the moon. We're going to start sort of feeling that I'm going to say we're going to start feeling that darkness because we call it like the devil moon or the devil days of the moon when it goes into the darkness. So bringing a little bit of craziness, and of course Uranus will be heading retrograde on the 1st of September. Pluto is going to be jumping into Capricorn, so can't wait. September is going to be a month, baby, of crazy energetics, um energies that are going to be just popping off like firecrackers. So, oh, look at me, I'm just being a little slutty today too. So we have a lot of popping off that's going to be starting off on the weekend as we're going to be heading into a weekend with a new moon, and then the full moon we will be having. It's going to be a partial lunar eclipse, so then we're going to get into some eclipse. We're going to be getting into the eclipse season near the end of September. So we're going to start off with September being a little bit crazy. Sorry, Candace. Candace can't stand this shit anymore. Candace is leaving. She's entering onto her ship and she is gone. So as we are going into some craziness, so that Uranus energy going as it goes retrograde, it's going to be making maybe it's it's going to get into some really craziness. Um I think because of the squares that Uranus is going to be making over to Pluto, there's going to be where Mercury's going to be squaring over to Uranus. So we're going to have there's going to be a lot of electrical type of energy that's going to be happening, a lot of plutonic energy with Uranian energy that's going to be happening as well. It's not going to be very it's not going to be very calming. I'm going to say that. So you're going to have to find ways to calm self, going to have to find ways to ground oneself as we are heading into the storms. We're heading into the storms. Candace, what is she saying? We are trying to sell our place and people think it's on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, well, that's always a good place to put it on. I'm ready to spill blood over here. So no crazy energy. Well, you got Mercury, right? You got Mercury going forward, you know? That's really nice as it's going to be heading. Yeah, it's going to be making those squares as it's in. Uh, Mercury's going to be making some squares over to Uranus. So that's the higher and the lower mind, the consciousness of the God realm, the God of the sky, Uranus, and then Mercury who goes in and out of the different realms. So the feeling of just trying to be grounded, just trying to be focused in the directions that you really want to go into are going to be important. And, getting through this new moon and then we're getting into eclipse season and a partial eclipse that's going to be happening. So, I mean, I think we have to really look at what we are wanting. Look at, you know, it's already not being coming since July. Yeah, well, it's poor Candace. Candace, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, there's going to be just more craziness as Pluto enters into Capricorn. So, and that craziness through the eclipses, and then through where Mars is going to be slowing down because Mars, as we're getting into November, December, is going to be um, bringing in a lot more craziness as with Mars going retrograde. And then I have some Maury lady in spirit who won't leave me alone, and she's sad as heck and don't be bringing your sad energy over. Back off, lady. So get focused where you want to head. I mean, it's the Two of Wands. Wands are very passionate. Wands can be overwhelming. Wands are the fire, right? So in comes the fire. In comes this balance of wanting to bring in some sort of balance, some sort of direction, and what that direction is going to look like for you. So there's something new on the horizon, definitely, but it's you know, I feel like I keep on getting groundedness is going to be the most important thing. And especially with this Uranian energy going retrograde and then squaring over to Pluto, um, yeah, it's not going to be the best of, the best of energy because I know we all want to escape. We all want to go somewhere. We won't all want to get out of here and trying to get to a better place. So we got to go back to our passion. It's going to take us a little bit to get to that better place. It's going to take us a little bit because there is light at the end of the tunnel and the moon is in Cancer, so there's a lot of emotion that's going on here as well. And with that we got to look at what is it that we really want. How do we want to what is that direction? What does that feel like, right? And it is one that, and I'm going to say it can feel excruciating. It can feel excruciating, right? Trying to stay grounded, but that's hard when you have a spirit around you. Um, go outside, grab a tree, get your heavy crystals out, pull in your black tourmaline, and uh, bring in that. Here it is, bring in the other energies because we want to bring in something of love. So the love card does come in. So again, it's talking about balance. And trying to force something is going to be a no-go. Like if you're trying to force shit, if you're trying to make shit happen, if you're saying I need to have this now or it has to go this way, and I'm going to just force it all the way, because Venus is at the end of Virgo, lovely little Venus, and she just, oh no, she just entered, I was like a minute ago, she just entered Libra, so she's, so there is a sigh of relief that's coming in, because as she's entering into Libra, she's feeling at home. She's not being the bitch anymore, because she's been in Virgo, and with that bitchy energy of, it's like the diva having to go and do stuff, right? Having to go and volunteer at the soup kitchen, and that's not what she wants to do, because she doesn't want to get her hands dirty, and she just got a manicure kind of thing. So I mean, with the her going into that Venus going into Libra adds a little bit of calmness into it, because she does want to have some peace. She does want to have, being able to have the balance within relationships, and feel those relationships, because she's at home. So I mean, feeling that at homeness is a positive one as we are moving here. But it's still, I mean, we're still into some really choppy, crazy weather at this time. And I mean, we are seeing craziness ramp up. I mean, what can I say? We're on water restrictions here in Calgary. And I was watching this guy on TikTok, and TikTok, TikTok. I mean, who doesn't watch fucking TikTok? Okay, I'm sorry. And he was going over his water bill, and and then what the surcharge is for your water. So your surcharge, you have to pay a service charge. So the service charge, I think, was $15 and some cents. And then he was trying to figure out how many, through a census from 2021, and how many homes there are in Calgary, and blah blah blah. Anyways, he did the multiplication. So if we still have the same amount of housing and here in Calgary that we did in 2021, they're making $100 million a year just off the service charge alone on our water bill. And I mean, I'm going to crack that up to Neptune being retrograde as well. And I keep on seeing, my vision of this, and this craziness, and the vision that I'm seeing is really where you got an overpaid mayor in our, that's sitting up in her high tower. She's one of the highest paid mayors in all of Canada. She gets paid more than the premier of Alberta. She's getting over $200,000 a year. She just went and applied for a job, I think, in Finland or Norway or somewhere like that, called the WESP, which has to do with the World Economic something environment bullshit. And I think she got on it because she was saying that, oh, look at how good I've been to get everybody to conserve water in my city. And she got on as, I think, a vice president, and she's getting 100 grand. Well, it's probably 100 euros, because it's they're in euros over there. So earning 100,000 euros a year off of that. Plus, we probably funded her way over there. And as I just see this person sitting in the high tower, looking down, and as if we're Serbs, we're peasants, we're nothing. And, why should I try and fix anything? Because when I get out of here, I'm going to have a pension for life. As many people here are just freaking just surviving. And that's part of this, energy. When you get Uranus and you get Pluto, this is, Pluto going into Capricorn for the last hurrah. This is revolution. This is where people start to really want to stand up. We're not going to say I'm not going to say revolution in a violent way, but I'm saying a revolution of standing up. We're not going to take this anymore. And I know the truckers are still going through their shit, and their court cases aren't over. I mean, the court cases that they're doing are unprecedented. They've never happened in Canada before, right? So people, I mean, there was an 11-year-old kid that got arrested in England. Now, you know, I know England can be a pretty rough. I mean, it can be fucking rough. Well, let's face it, right? But 11-year-old. I mean, the 11-year-old. I'm just thinking of this child, an 11-year-old child. The frustration he's probably having at home because his mom and dad, or just his mom, who we don't know his family thing, and just feeling that pressure of what kind of future do I have when I am considered to be less than, like anybody. And this is part of these frequencies that are coming in to awaken, to show that no, you're not less than, you are worthy, you are something. But when the world, or when governments are so evil and looking down at the peasantry and thinking that they're less than, and that they can do and say and be whatever they want, and that's what they're doing. We're watching a prime minister who just made a fucktard of the whole country, and and then now coming out and saying, "Look it, I'm going to fix this." Well, you made it, you asshole. Like, of course, it's like, yeah, fucktard. It's amazing, as you're watching this, and that's because, trying to do votes, and that's the same way with, Turban Boy, wanting, the whole bit. It's crazy. And people are getting stirred, and they're getting frustrated, and they're getting overwhelmed, and they're getting, oh, to a breaking point, a total breaking point in this world. Now, I do have good news, for me. Anyways, I did get an offer for a full-time position, and it's a retail position. It's a good paying position, and it's going to be a sort of a contract position to see if the store will do well until the end of February. I'm still going to be working at the community center, or the community complex. So doing that, because I don't want to give up that position if their place doesn't grow, the store doesn't go. And the only reason I'm taking it is I got to live, baby. I got to live, right? I got to I mean, I like to eat. And when you are going from hand to mouth and trying to make it, this is, if you are really wanting to make it, you got to bust your fucking ass right now. And you got to do this, and you got to find the ways to create your abundance in the side hustles. And one of the guys I watch, and he was talking about side hustles. This is some of the hot side. You want a side hustle? You got to get out there. He put garage selling, flipping palm trees, flipping electric trains, YouTube channels, building websites, landscaping, dog poop removal, window washing, junk hauling, selling succulents. Whatever it is, finding that side hustle. I'm still going to do the what do you call it, uh the markets, and got a couple markets that are going to be coming up, and I'm still going to be doing them, right? And that's you know that's the name of the game right now. If you want to get through this craziness, if you want to get through it, you got to hustle. If you're sitting back, laying back, and this is the whole thing, one of the key components for me doing what I'm doing is, one, my prayers, my meditations. I say that to you guys all the time, and I'm not lying. I am doing my prayers and meditations, and every single morning, as soon as I get up, I go into the bathroom. I have a little app that I listen to. I listen to, different stories. I listen to different prayers, and I'm doing that all the way through, making coffee, I'm listening to this. Then I sit down and I do either a mantra, a rosary, doing something every single day, and then making sure I do my gratitudes and asking, I want money miracles. I want things to open up for me. And that's part of this energy too. It's there for you, but you got to hustle. If you're not there to hustle, if you're not there to try and make it, if you're there to just sit around and hope to God that lightning will come down and hit you on top of the head, and with a pot of gold. you're going to be sitting there for a long time. You got to take the action to make it happen. And that Pluto going back to Capricorn is really going to show people, if you're not taking action, if you're not doing it, because it's going back into the last 16 years of shit that we have gone through. If you look at the last 16, if your last 16 years have been an A plus, bless it and say, all right, let's continue this on. But if your last 16 years have been a C minus, I mean, if you look at the ups and downs and everything and you're going to grade it, then you're going to say, okay, how am I going to improve this? What are the things I need to improve so I'm able to create more of something really good that I want to have in my life? And putting that forward, and that's so, so important. So I did hear that right, that you found a job. Yes, I did. I spotted it. It showed up on my feed. I know the manager very, very, very well. Um, and I sent my resume in. I mean, she couldn't just hire me. She had to pass it through um, her people. And yeah, so I will be telling more, and I'll be putting it up on my Facebook and stuff a lot more as I'm in the store, and things are getting set up. But it is a Canadian company. It's a really cool company. It's something I never thought I'd be doing, but it is something that, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. And that's the whole thing. That's part of these frequencies and these energies. I could sit around and wait and hope to God and put sales on and hope somebody comes in for a reading and then get a reading here and a reading there. That's not putting food on the table, right? So this is going to get us to a point where at least we have, bringing in some stability, paying off some really big bills that we have to pay off, and having food in the house. That's a huge one, especially when I live with a person who's type 2 diabetic. That's the whole thing, is like, you can, as soon as his pension comes in, and which his pension came in and it was already chopped by $400, so we're $400 low. That goes to rent and whatever other little bills come in, and then some food, and then it's gone. Then it's just basically me waiting to see if anything else comes in. So it is a little, this is a godsend. This is an opening, and opening my ways to the abundance. So my side hustle will be, hey, if I get a reading, cool. You know what? That's awesome. That's part of my side hustle. If I do really well at the markets, hey, that's really cool. That's part of the side hustle as well. And that's where you have to start looking at, okay, what am I going to do? What am I, how am I going to create even more abundance from this? So it's a learning process. So, and learning, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do? It's not just putting the money in the bank. It's like, how am I going to wisely put this towards where I don't have to be in this mess again? you know? And I'm not saying to be the rich millionaire, although, hey, I'd fucking take $1 billion. Um, I know a lot of people say, well, I just like to live among my means. Fuck that. No, I don't want to live among my means. I've done that all my life. And look where I am now. I'm sitting here wondering, holy shit, I got to figure out where, how am I got to hustle up something this weekend so that we can get groceries in the house. Like, come on. This is where really looking at how you can really create that means, so that you are able to be able to do the things that you love to do in a time when there is a great depression coming in, and that's a time when you can make the most money. And the more I do what I'm doing and diving deeper into a lot of the prayers I'm doing right now and the studies I'm doing, it's like, whatever we were taught as kids and as young adults, we're taught this from in school and stuff, just to be the worker, and we're not taught how to do much else, right? And not to go beyond our means, and to live within our means, and that we see people who go beyond their means, and we're like, "Ooh, look what happens when you look and you go beyond your means." Yeah, if you do it stupidly and you charge up all your credit cards and everything else and you live off your fucking credit cards, yeah, that's stupid. But if you are doing this in a smart way, you're able to create something more for yourself. And then you don't feel stuck in living where you're living and doing what you're doing, right? So I feel there's a lot there for us right now, even as things are flipping out, you know. As I said, that I'm thinking of that poor child that got arrested. Like, fuck me. He was probably a mouthy little shit that mouthed off the police in the UK, and they arrested him and they threw him in jail. Like, what the fuck? What good is that? Like, what are you causing? What are you creating for your country, right? And we got very much a Stalin that's leading our country now, who's thinking very much the same way. And this is like, no, no, we want to teach, we want to create, we want to bring forth abundance, we want to have, you know that's what we want to do. And if we are able to be those examples, to do that for our children and our children's children, and even to those around us and to other women, and show our strength, and come together and say, no, we're not going to take this fucking bullshit no more. We're not going to take this of what's going on. And the push is going to come in. I honestly believe voting is important, right? I honestly believe that in doing the vote, and is an important thing, because your voice has to be heard. Something, it's a system that we have right now. It's a broken system, but in order to fix it, you got to get involved. You got to do what you got to do, right? You can't sit back and idly allow things just to happen, and just, oh, okay, that's just the way it is. Fuck that. No, it's not just the way it is. That's how women got the rights. That's how women were able to get credit cards. That's how women were able to start their own business, because they didn't sit idly by. And that's where these frequencies are. This is a time of a revolution of creating harmony and education. I was listening to this TikTok, and I couldn't listen to it anymore, because I was just like, if I could reach through there and I just strangle this fucking bitch, I really would have, because I got so angry, and I had to turn it off, and I had to sit, and I had to sort of call in the angels, and call in my God, and call in the Divine Mother Mary, and ask for peace, and send this girl. Please, please, I pray somebody educates her. She was calling a pregnancy a parasite. And I'm like, what? It's a parasite. So you're a parasite. You're calling the baby that's growing within the womb a parasite. So you're a parasite. Yeah, and this is why it's so good for women to get abortions, is because it causes osteoporosis and all these problems in women. I'm just like, where did you get your information? Like, who like, excuse me? Oh my god. I was just, it was on a live. I was just like, what the hell? No way. So it was just so crazy. Just so crazy, and I'm just thinking, where did she get that women, if you have more than two children, you're going to get osteoporosis and all this kind of bullshit. Well, that's no, that's no. And that the babies feed off you and eat all your nutrients, and that, well, yeah, I mean, yes, there is nutrients and stuff. You got to put in extra nutrients into your body when you're pregnant, because you're growing another human being, so you got to love yourself and love the new one that's coming in. But to call it a parasite, I was just like, how disconnected, like, how disconnected that person is from humanity. And that's, when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, we had a honeymoon phase, honey. We haven't seen anything what Pluto's going to be doing. because it's going to bring up the parasites of humanity. It's going to show you what humankind is, and it's really going to get you to realize, the truth of the nature of human beings, and bring in not only the negative but the positive with that as well, as we are going to go through Aquarius for the next 20 years. So this is really a time, a revolution time of transformation and change, and really standing forth and making a commitment to make yourself better, and making yourself better financially, and healthy. Health, bring in the health. What are the things you can do to create a healthier environment for yourself, right? And watching the foods that you eat. You know, there's some of the things that they're wanting to bring in or substitute. We all know what they are. We've all seen it, but there's more of a push of it, than ever before. So this is part of it. And going into this new moon and going into September, yeah, it's going to be radical. It really is. The the frustration is going to ramp up. The anger is going to ramp up because people aren't knowing an out. They're not understanding on what they can do, and many of them don't have a spiritual base. And when you don't have a spiritual base and things are going tits up, and you don't have something to grapple to, or you don't have an out or somebody to talk to, or you're too scared to call the helpline. This is where it's so important, that all of us as light workers are there. Sometimes I feel like the reason I go back to work, or I'm being shown to go back to work, is to be able to touch other people that wouldn't even be able to know about any of this bullshit, any of this shit that I do, right? Feels like the dark days are coming back with the government around the world. They are. I saw a post on for Canadian Tire. It was in Ontario, and it said before it was an ATM machine, and it said, uh, if you're going to pay your bill inside for your uh, Canada Canadian Tire credit card, please wear a mask. Why? Why? I When I went to the doctors, when I went to my doctor's so funny. It's like he wanted before you can go into his he had you have to wear a mask when you go into my doctor's office. It's hilarious. I wore a chin nappy. Um, he didn't say anything. He just because I'm hardly ever going to see him. But anyways, but that's the thing, people are scared. In Minnesota, they're having lockdowns because of mosquitoes. Like this mosquitoes that are causing this infection. And I'm just, first thing when I heard about that shit, I thought, oh my God, Bill Gates mosquitoes are out and about. You know, um, the craziness of it all. And it's because Pluto's going back into Capricorn, and as I said, it's going to bring up a lot that happened in 2020, and it's going to ramp shit up and try and bring people to lockdown, or try and bring people to obey what we are telling you. And I think, people are just so fed up and so frustrated, and we have, where people are going to be choosing whether to turn on heat or whether to eat, right? Especially, I mean, we got a mayor that's telling you to have a 3-minute fucking shower. Like, excuse me, I got too many bits and bobs and jiggles and wiggles to have a 3-minute shower. I'm sorry. There's things that need to be lifted and cleaned that may take me a little bit longer than most girls. Just saying. Right? And with my hair's wet like this. My hair, like, it takes me longer than a minute to wash this hair and rinse it out. So, like, give me a break, or flush. Every third person, or every third time you go to the toilet, flush your toilet. Fuck off. Yeah, I doubt she's taking it at with her over $200,000 a year. That's what she's making. That's what the city's paying her. Then whatever other deal she's making on the side, right? It's like a prime minister. Our prime minister 9 years ago, I think his net worth was like over $2 million. And now his net worth is over 300 million plus. Don't drink water, drink beer, get lost. Well, that'll be good. The jails will be filled with all the drunk drivers. Well, my marriage sad. I gotta drink some beer. You know, so it's just radical out there, man. But yeah, what you're seeing, what's happening in the UK and Europe, you're gonna see here. The guy for Telegraph, he's up on charges. I mean, they're wanting to keep him. He's not even from. I mean, his plane landed in France, and that's where they got him. Like he was just going into France. His company's stationed out of Dubai. He is Russian, but they're trumping up all of this bullshit about him. It's just like, they just want his information because everything's cryptid, right? It's like WhatsApp. It's everything's cryptid. And now we had, Mr. Zucker boy, Zucker the sucker, come out and say how much he, censored Facebook and Instagram and stuff. When we're having the stuff about the elixir and everything. So I think he's just trying to make himself clean before Trump gets in there, and that's another cray shit that's going to happen. He's stacking his team. He's stacking his team. You got RFK on his team, and Tulsi Grammar. I mean, she's pretty cool. I looked into her past and some of the shit, and I've seen her talk on where was it? It was an interview. I think there was this. Oh, I hate him. Guy on. I think he's on Good Morning America or one of those legacy medias, but he's has glasses and stuff, and he's kind of weaselly looking. But anyways, he really likes to ask stupid ass questions and really go in on people and then not listen to the answer, right? And try and twist your words around. He's really good at twisting words around. Them in the View, like, ugh, those women, like, just like, it just strangle them. Um, but anyways, listening to her interview, and she can really hold her own. She's really good at holding her own, and especially when people are trying to throw dirt on her. Like, she's very good, very well spoken woman, and very well educated. So she knows how to use her words properly, and she can go toe to toe with people and not get flustered because people will try and fluster her in many different ways. And that's what we need. We need leaders that don't get flustered, right? When are you doing podcasts, Mama? I don't know. I I don't know. I don't I the thing is, like, how do I like to do a podcast? Like, you know, I see people that do podcasts, and I'm just like, how, I don't know. Could end up a shit show, but it would be fun. Come in for one. It is crazy, just looking and seeing the cray of the shit that's going on right now. I could probably make some of these lives into a podcast. And then just start doing it that way. you know. But it's crazy. We can talk about what it's really like being a sensitive around idiots. Oh, fuck yeah. It just, like, one place I I hate going into Superstore, or, you all know how I feel about Costco and other places like that. But it's just going to wrap up. And this weekend, this new moon, it's in Virgo. It's going to be industrious. It's going to want to get you, to get things done and move forward and do things, and which is really good. But you really got to watch how you're pushing your energy and really pace yourself with it all, and not overdo it. And that's so, so important. Don't overdo it, because you're just going to find yourself feeling like crap. right? And you don't want to do that. That's what I think I posted from Leonie Dawson. One of the things that she posted about sleep. If you need to rest, rest, right? It's so, so important. Um, don't feel bad if you need to take a nap or have a 15-minute nap, or if you need to just power down for a little bit. I mean, that's so important for our bodies right now, because and especially with this Uranus and um that's going to be squaring with Mercury. It's that electrical vibration that comes through, and then you just feel fried, and you just feel like all over the place. And my vision is like, my wavy hair just went frizzy, just zip, ding, ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. That's the way it goes, like bzzz. All of this is going through your body, and you're just like, you know it's crazy, it's crazy, and it's frustrating. It's just gets very, very frustrating. So we have to honor ourselves. And if you need to take some time off, or you need to take a power nap, or lock yourself into the bathroom for a few minutes if you're at work, and say, "Excuse me, I'm just pooing. Let me poo." Um, I have the poopery. I'll flush this one. It's the third one, the fourth one of the day. So I get to flush. I'm the flusher today. Let the mayor know we're flushing now. But it is when I can laugh at my own jokes. What am I gonna say? Um, it is crazy. It is crazy. You know, you're just listening to these idiots that are elected. I don't even think she was elected. I don't think so. I think she was placed there. I don't know who voted for her. Whoever voted for her is a fucking retard. Uh, just saying it. This is a fucking retard. And this is probably those who are here live, this is the only time you're going to be able to hear it, because this is probably going to be like, I mean, I don't even have enough people on my following me on YouTube to make any money anyways. But it would be demonetized. She's used the F word too many times in this episode. Yeah. Um it's you get fined in England now too, in some areas, that they will find you 100 quid for swearing. Like, good luck on that one. Has anybody been to England? Anybody know an Englishman? They really love the C word, and they throw that around a hell of a lot, you know? And something about smoking. They wanted to start restricting smoking on outdoors. Like, every second freaking person in England smokes, you know? It's crazy. You're seeing the death. We're watching in real time a death a death of a culture. We're seeing that, as if you watch the things that are going on in the UK, you're seeing a death of a culture. You're seeing how they really want to kill off, you know how mad they are from the English. And I'm just like, they call the English are colonizers. Who the fuck colonized England, right? You got to go like, well, didn't the Romans go in? I mean, before anybody was there was nomads that were there. The Neolithics people were there. They weren't going out building barges and raiding or anything like that. Um, you had the Romans came in, and then you came the Saxons, and the Saxons, they're German. They came in and they colonized England. It's just like, people are just like, go and learn your freaking history, right? It's like calling, the Vikings. And Vikings are, well, it's a term that we use now, but a Viking is what you do. You go out and you do that. That's what it was called. You're going out in Viking. You're going to go out and plunder, right? You know What's the market on the 7th? The market on the 7th is a pagan festival. There's going to be many different speakers that are coming in on different topics and stuff. And people will be selling their wares and everything else. It's a pagan festival. So it should be fun. It should be fun. It's at I should know where it is. I know it's off Center Street. But anyways, yeah, I posted on my Facebook. I'll post it again. People can take a look, and I'll post it again on my Instagram and stuff. So, but I'll be there. I think I'm going to be doing a talk, I believe. I've been asked. I'm going to do a talk on astrology, on how the planets affect you. How do the planets affect you? Hey, how have you been feeling this last year, people? How are you with that eclipse that marked the X? So yeah, I'll be talking about that, and the moon and the moon phases, and how the moon phases really can affect you, and just even understanding where the moon is at each day, right? Like the moon in Cancer today, and how do you feel with the moon in Cancer? So just taking a look internally more so on how you're feeling. But yeah, it should be good. There's some really beautiful artists that are going to be there. I'll be doing readings, so if anybody wants to come and get a reading done, definitely come and get a reading. I will also be um what else will I be doing? I think that's it. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be helping Andrea set up, so I'll be going early with her. She's going to come pick me up, and I'm going to help her set up and stuff like that too. So give her a helping hand. Give her a helping hand. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, so there's some good things. Some things are turning up, and the thing is that you gotta make sure that you put the gold stars where the gold stars need to be, right? You got to put the gold stars where. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a positive. Yeah, that's a positive. Instead of, because we can get really, overwhelmed with a lot of the negativity and everything that's going on right now in the world, and get very frustrated with it all. So find the gold stars in your life right now, and that's so so important, because the more gold stars you can find, you're going to find that the gold stars are going to outweigh all the other bullshit that's coming down the shit, and all the other, you know, craziness that's going on within the world around us. Um and that's the whole thing. So put gold stars beside us. The last full moon completely drained me. Finally feel well, yeah, well, we had 2 full moons in Capricorn, right? So you got 2 full moons in Capricorn, then you had the new moon in between. So that really was a congestion of really making things concrete, getting things, you got to think of what happened between the 2 full moons and stuff, and how that all the different events that happened during that time as well, in that short time. And that's like from full moon to full moon, that's 28 days. So all of these, when you look, if you just look at the news cycle, you just look at what's going on in your general area, you can see all of the nutters are coming out of the woodworks more and more. And the more you see those nutters coming out, this is the more you start like, I gotta really put on my bulletproof titanium um shields, and just to repel all of the craziness, like Wonder Woman does with her shield, ding ding, so that you're not absorbing all the crap and stuff that's going on, right? And as I say, this new moon coming up on Monday, it is going to be one that's, people are going to be feeling tired, because they're going to feel the push and the shove to get things done and do things. They're going to be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with things as well. And that's, again, don't push, don't try and overdo shit. Like, don't do it. That's all I'm going to say. So, my loves, I've kept you here for 50 minutes. I'm so excited about of a routine. Yeah, it'll be nice. I mean, of course, yeah, the kids are back to school. Mateus started grade 4. It's pretty cool. He has half day tomorrow. Start a full day, half day, long weekend. Like, I don't understand. But they have to get, I mean, the quota the quota of making sure the children get their they have to get their days in. And so for the quota, it's just like, okay, how about the quality of education? I bet you they could teach the kids better in 20 hours a week than they can in doing what they're doing now, and having one day maybe 3 hours of school. I just find there's other ways of better learning for children than the way the system that we have right now. It just sucks, but it's going to fall apart anyways. So for some people, for very few of society, the school system works. For majority of the world, the school system doesn't work. It either brings in people who just have a very frustrating time, and then feel like they're stupid or they don't know anything because they didn't do well in school because society says you're supposed to do well. So, So anyways, my loves, I'm going to send you guys out so much love. And I will be on tomorrow sometime. I don't know when. I have my physio and stuff tomorrow, so it probably wouldn't be till probably later on in the evening. If you want to buy me a coffee, that would be so awesome. You could buy me a coffee, and you could do that by e-transfer to thegurumama@gmail.com. I did jokingly say buy me a coffee or buy me a glass of wine. There's a couple people thought that was really funny. I thought it was funny. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to send you out so much love. Readings for the moon readings are coming out on Sunday. So Sunday, I'll have the moon readings out. Monday, I have tickets to the football game. Yeah. So I'm going to go see the Stampeders. I haven't seen a live football game in professional live football game in years. So that's going to be a lot of fun to go to. So anyways, going to love you and leave you guys. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Blessed be everybody. Have a great one. And may angels dance in your pillow and the Blessed Mary watch over you always. All righty. Good night. Good night.